about it at halftime because he's so important to them. But yeah, I thought just our depth and our ability to close the game out by making plays. And you know, when we played them in LA back in early January, they made the plays down the stretch. They got the stops down the stretch, and they made the shots down the stretch. Tonight we did that, and our guys played with great toughness, great belief, and great heart. And that's what you have to do against UCLA. UCLA is a good basketball team. You have to beat them. They don't beat themselves. We were dialed in there down the stretch.
Next is Justin Guerrero.
Tad, just 6 turnovers for you guys tonight. How pleased were you with just the overall discipline you guys showed, and especially just against a solid defense like the Bruins?
Yeah, because they're physical, and they get out in passing lanes. They try to blow up balls, handoffs, and they switch ball screens. And yeah, so we had 0 at halftime. So all 6 of those came in the second half. I didn't even talk to our team about it at halftime. I just said, you know, but that was one of the reasons we were only down 1 at half is because we took such good care of the basketball. But they were at halftime. They were shooting 50% from the field, and they were +4 rebounding. I haven't had a chance to look at the stat sheet. They beat us 5 on the boards, and but they only shot 41% in the second half. So, and again, UCLA is a good team. They got good players. They run good stuff. Great win for our program and our team. On senior night, to have 7 guys that, you know, are so articulate and well-spoken and just wonderful human beings, to see them have success. And, you know, UCLA came in here last year, for those that don't remember, and ruined our senior night. And that's the risk that you have of having it after the game. But I wanted these guys to get a chance to thank their teammates, their families, and their fans personally. And with 7 seniors, you can't do that before the game. So kudos to our guys.
The New Mexico kid, Neil Welk.
Hey, Ted, how important stretch late in the first half? They shot 4 free throws, went up on you by 8. You closed it down to 1 by halftime. How important was that to make sure it didn't get away from you?
Really important, Neil. And, you know, McKinley Wright, I mean, he stepped up. I think he scored all 7 points, you know, to cut that thing to 1. And, yeah, we lost our cool a little bit in that first half. And, you know, our guys are playing with emotion, and I want them to. We just got to keep it in check. But McKinley was really good getting us back in that game. And once we did, you know, I felt like our guys had belief then. Like, okay, we can score on these guys, and it's not going to be easy. We have to work. You know, I thought we stood around a little bit in that first half, and they switch ball screens, which sometimes gives us problems. But I thought in the second half, especially tonight, we did a great job of attacking that. Our bigs did a great job. Uriah, you know, slipped a ball screen in the middle of the floor, and McKinley found him for an and one. I mean, plays like that are key.
Yeah, Rooney.
Hey, Coach, offensively, a lot of this game up until the last 7 or 8 minutes was kind of the McKinley Wright show. But down the stretch, did we see kind of things that makes this team good when you're playing good? A lot of guys contributed during that run, and, you know, kind of got contributions across the board.
We did. You know, Eli made a really tough finish in the lane. Evan made some finishes. That diving on the floor for the loose ball and maintaining possession was a key play in that game. I mean, that was just all heart and toughness. You know, McKinley did a good job of playing off 2 feet in the lane because they were really sagging in and they were really concerned with his penetration. He found Uriah for a big-time 3. That was a big play in the game. Maddox, you know, missed a 3, came down, you know, next possession or 2 later, made a 3. So the guys, they have a belief in themselves and they have a belief in each other that is really special. And I've coached a long time, and not every team has it. They fake it sometimes. They act like it sometimes. But this team really does love and believe in each other. And they played like it tonight, offensively and then defensively. You know, 8 of the last 10 possessions is what my staff told me. We got stops. 8 of the last 10 possessions down the stretch. That's what broke the game open. So it really, again, I don't know how many assists we had. We only had 9, but I thought we shared the ball better than that. But our guys made plays.
Back to Justin Guerrero.
Coach, in the first half, especially early in the first half, it looked like UCLA had just a number of open lanes to the rim, a number of uncontested layups. Was that something you you emphasized at halftime, and how did you go about just taking that away from them and just closing those lanes up?
Well, they run a lot of ISO stuff. You know, they got guys that are really good, you know, driving the ball. And Johnny Juzang is a great shooter, but he's gotten better putting the ball on the floor. Jules Bernard put the ball on the floor. Obviously, Tiger Campbell is really good in the pick and roll, and he can attack. So, yeah, we talked about really shrinking the floor and getting in the gaps, understanding where Juzang was, because he was, you know, he is a knockdown three-point shooter. Not that the other guys can't make them. But our discipline defensively is in the second half, shrinking the floor, you know, helping out on spins, staying down on Jaime Jaquez' shot fakes at the end. We didn't do it every time, but man, we did it most of the time, and those stops is what won us the game. There's no doubt about it. So the ISO drives hurt us in the first half. Part of it was just challenging our guys. It was part of the game plan to start with one-on-one. We work on guarding the ball a lot in practice, one-on-one. There's no help. But the reality is when you play against really good teams and really good players, you have to help each other sometimes because, again, you got to play with your hands off, and guys get downhill. You got to shrink the floor. We did a really good job of that in the second half.
Let's go to Jake Shapiro.
Hey, Tad, this is the first time I remember that you guys go into the last week, or the last game, I should say, with a shot at winning the conference in the regular season. One, do you approach it? Is that something that's in your thought process at all as a team? Two, do you kind of do any scoreboard watching as you guys need some results to go your way?
Every time I start rooting for another team, and I want them to lose, they win. So I quit that a long time ago. Look, we can control what we can control, which is the next game. For us now, it's Arizona State. We need help for that to happen. We tricked off a couple losses earlier in this year. We know that. Our fans know that. We got to live with that and accept that. But, you know, there's a lot of basketball ahead for this team. We have one more regular season game. We've got to take care of business. Not going to be easy. Arizona State's a talented group. They can get it rolling. And then, you know, we have the Pac-12 tournament, which I don't know of anybody other team in the conference that wants to play Colorado right now. We're playing pretty good. And so we're going to go to Las Vegas with, you know, the idea that we had another opportunity to win a championship. We probably won't do it in the regular season unless, you know, everything falls our way. But we got a chance to do it in Las Vegas. And this team is a team that can win some games in the NCAA tournament. But we're going to have to play well, and that's down the road. We got to worry about Arizona State, and that's what our focus is going to be.
Couple more for you, Coach. First, Pat Rooney.
Yeah, a couple more, and I got to roll. We got to talk to McKinley.
Hey, Coach, kind of along those lines, you mentioned it. You have a little bit of momentum now. Only one game between now and Las Vegas. You confident? You know, I know the number one priority is to beat Arizona State, but you confident this team can stay sharp with a lot of downtime between now and then?
I do, because we got mature guys. If you heard them speak on senior night tonight, they're a articulate, smart bunch of guys. This is a team that rises to challenges. That every time they've been challenged, they've risen to it. So the challenge now is to get healthy. Our bodies, some guys are nicked and bruised. We expended a lot of energy these last two games. We're going to take a couple days off, get our bodies right, a couple sharp practices, and hopefully Arizona State. We got to take that seriously, and then we got another week to practice and prepare ourselves for the Pac-12 tournament. We'll find out who we play, you know, as that weekend, the last weekend, kind of unfolds. But yeah, I love the way the schedule kind of sets up for us. And again, our guys did such a good job throughout the season, and look, most of our opponents did too, of staying healthy, that we were able to play our games, and that allows us now towards the end to get a little bit of rest. Get some quality practice time in and stay sharp. To your point, Pat, we have to stay sharp, and I got no reason to believe that this team won't.
And Justin Guerrero.
Just real quick here, the last couple games we've seen a pretty aggressive Maddox Daniels.
Yeah.
He's driven a number of times, finished at the rim. you think that's a part of his game that's kind of just a bit of a trick up his sleeve, given that teams are probably dialing in on him on the scouting report as a perimeter guy, more of a 3-point threat?
Yeah, look, Maddox is such a good shooter that people are going to close out to him. They're going to run at him, and that's what you have to do. I mentioned Johnny Juzang earlier. That's been a development in his game because he's such a good shooter. He's really gotten better off the bounce, and I think the same is true for Maddox. He's done a great job of attacking the closeouts and playing under control. When Maddox plays under control, he's a really good player, and when he's open, we want him to shoot it. Everybody does. So yeah, he's added that to his game, which has really helped us. And Jariah's done the same thing. And Maddox is a good athlete, and we want him. What I love is he really, really competed defensively tonight against Johnny Juzang. I thought he gave us some really, really good defensive stops and effort against Juzang in the second half because. Every time he and Jariah get in the game, all I talk about is defend and rebound because I know they're going to shoot it, and I want them to shoot it, and their teammates want them to shoot it. But if they defend and rebound and commit to that, which they've done here recently, that's one of the reasons our team has had the success we've had here recently.
Great. You want your fun stat tonight?
Yeah, Dave, why not?
4 games, USC, UCLA, probably 2 of the best offenses in the conference. 62.5 points is what you allowed them combined.
There you go. We're guarding. Thank you.